so sorry. Sometimes this internet can be super unpredictable and we can expect the unexpected. But glitches like this makes us more human than ever. Welcome to LinkedPreneurStories on today's episode. It's kind of a very special episode because this is the third time we are doing our tribe episode where we get some amazing people from our tribe to share their stories. They've got some phenomenal insights, and to say some insights in terms of we can't even expect them to share with us, but they have promised us to bring their own stories, their candid life to us so that we can also pick some great things. Also, we are not going to leave them asking about the fact that which speaker was their favorite speaker on LinkedPreneur Stories. Beyond that, guys, for ones who are tuning in for the first time today, LinkedPreneur Stories is a virtual live talk show that happens on LinkedIn and Facebook on my channel, just to bring about business mindsets from all across the world and bring their stories to you so that you can rock the entrepreneurial world at your space. With this, guys, let me bring in the first guest today on LinkedPreneur Stories. She's a founder to Ray Academy Swiss and an influencer, a TEDx speaker, a human resource specialist, even a vice president to global goodwill ambassador, and it goes on and on and on. I can keep raving about her and it never ends, but I have to mention one important thing. She is a keynote speaker. Dr. Ruby Bakshi herself is here with us on LinkedPreneur Stories right from Switzerland. Hi, Ruby. How are you? It's a pleasure having you with us.
Hi, Khushbu. I'm good. It's really a pleasure to be on this platform.
Indeed, we have been watching each other, seeing each other for such a long time. It feels like we know each other for such a long period of time.
You said it. It's like I feel I know you so well because we are always clashing different times, same times, and we always want to be with each other. Yet we don't feel that we are strangers. We are, LinkedInpreneurs live.
Absolutely, you crafted it so well. I can't. There's no word I would like to add to this further to this. But Ruby, I have to ask you. You're based in Switzerland, and I'm sure pandemic has touched there as well to an extent. And the impact has been in all the spaces. You come from HR background, and at the same time being a public figure where you're a keynote speaker and representing so many different places that I can't even name it in one shot. So all of this, was there any impact on your career or in your professional life with this pandemic?
I wouldn't say there was an impact on my professional life, but absolutely, pandemic has been a very challenging time all over the world, all across the world, and we did face a challenge of teaching because we as educators had to bring about a big change from turning face-to-face classrooms to virtual learning environment. And of course, for that, we had to undergo training. Our college was quick enough to, impart training and things like that. But for some of the people, yes, it was difficult. The shift was very difficult because they were so used to students in the class and all the curriculum had to be changed. So that was a big thing. But in terms of speaking, in terms of, going and reaching out my audience, there was not really a big impact because we were still running lots and lots of webinars. I have given, I don't know, unlimited number of webinars, which I had not given as face-to-face seminars in the past. So yes, it has been a mix, I would say.
Yeah, indeed, as an educator, I'm sure, because I've got cousins, I've got siblings, and I've got some friends in the educator space as well. And there was so much of adaptation for all of them. I'm sure it wouldn't have been an easy space at all. And I truly admire you for being able to adapt, implement, and execute that. But at the same time, let me bring a little bit of light to an aspect, which is the keynote speaker aspect. I mean, you're an educator, and being in an HR space, it's already a diverse in a field to say. And then a keynote speaker. What's the story behind? How exactly did you get into this particular keynote speaker stuff?
It's a very interesting story, and sometimes even I'm amazed by it because it was not a planned move. It was not planned. It was not decided that I have to, enter into something which is like a keynote speaker. But yes, it happened 3 years ago when I was invited to give a training program in one of the Toastmasters show here in Geneva. and it got noticed. Like a lot of people, they started hashtag emotional intelligence, hashtag women empowerment, and things like that. And I think that got me a lot of visibility, and a lot of people started noticing me, because all these years I had been doing this, but I had never really put it on any media, and I had been doing it for the school students, for the university, but not for the outsider corporates. And I
Correct.
think that got the ball rolling. And it got me some really wonderful opportunities in United Nations, in Bahrain, in China, in you name it, and London. So it's just, I would say, something which was not planned, but one by one, it all started coming to place because people started noticing, and it was again thanks to LinkedIn that it also gave me lots and lots of visibility. People wrote about me, people hashtagged my seminars or webinars, and I think that got the ball rolling. And automatically I craved a career just by itself without any intentions.
I think that's the power of being a hustler and being an acceptor of change as well, to be able to adapt so fast and move ahead. Because to be a public speaker, I'm sure you would have your own challenges. I know
Mhm.
you got adapted and everything seemed like super smooth, but it as smooth as it may sound, but was it that smooth, or you also had your fair share of challenges?
Of course, I had my ups and downs. I had my fair share of challenges, which were like coming and going. But as I say, when you are strong, when you are saying, thinking of it as a, not as a failure, but as a stepping stone, maybe something better is coming up, maybe something exciting is coming up. I fell down, but I need to get up. So I kept on doing that couple of times. But again, I had such wonderful networks, such wonderful friends who kept on supporting, and they kept on buzzing my name, taking my name to different places, nominating me, telling about me. And I think that was something which I can never forget. There were lots and lots of people, both men and women. Again, let's put it that. That's very important.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. I agree to that. I think we have got some amazing men and women on LinkedIn itself that I see have been promoting one another so hugely, with so
Exactly.
much love. And I'm sure I can buy what you're saying absolutely. But as an educator, Ruby, would you like to share with our audience one challenge that was the most prominent one for yourself, and how did you overcome that?
As an educator, in the beginning, the biggest challenge was the cultural shock coming from India. It was not very easy because at that time, I'm talking roughly 18 years back, I was myself very, very young, and some of my students, they were even older than me. So in India, we have that distance, the big distance, physical distance between the teacher and the taught.
Correct.
And when I come here in Switzerland, it was completely different because guys are asking me, hey, do you want to go for coffee? Do you want to go for drinks after class? And I'm like, oh my God, are they telling me because I'm kind of their age, or do they want grades? Because I was confused. So
Correct.
it was
Absolutely.
one big challenge. And also because of that, I was constantly distancing myself. The moment the classes were over, I would go to the staff room. And the big challenge came up there when I first got my evaluation, students' evaluation. And my evaluations were thumbs down. It was not so good. And I thought, I have been working very well. I have been constantly, getting new things, innovative methods to teach my students, and teachers are happy, students are happy, but why the evaluations went down? And then I came to know the students, most of them, I would say 80% of them, they said, she is a good teacher, but she's never approachable. She is in her own cocoon, and
Okay.
we are scared to approach her. So there were these kind of small hiccups there in the beginning. And of course,
I
as
will
you
have
know,
to I will have to really add in here, or maybe give a 2 cent. I don't think it's a small hiccup. Such a strong cultural change. It's
yeah,
humble of you to say small, but it takes you mentally, because you have been every day trying new methods to escape yourself from that, and then finally that was not the way to go. So
yeah,
it just bumps you in a further stronger manner to say. And I really love you for that, because it's I can completely resonate, because I came from India to Malaysia, and there was a strong cultural change, but not as much as as Switzerland, because I know that country would be more on the European segment, and
true.
automatically change is more stronger there. But
Mhm.
how did you overcome? So finally, did you decide to again go back and start gelling with the students?
Well, why I said it was a small hiccup because there were other bigger hiccups, which were like, filling the glass ceiling. As I was a young
Oh,
professor, I was one of the youngest ones in my college in the university. So sometimes I would not be getting really the important projects, like if you were having some guest speaker or if we were supposed to go to some seminars, I was not nominated for those. So that was something which made me a little bit, why not me? Why I'm not there? But of course, yes, I did change. It took me like 6 to 7 months. I started becoming more and more comfortable. I started talking more to the professors and seeing them, observing them. And I think that brought about a change, because when we observe, when we see what is going on, we need to adapt. We can't be saying, I come from India and India it's like this, so I have to be like this. I came here to this country, so I had to adapt myself and integrate, which I did, which I did. And again, thanks to my students, I got so many other opportunities because they started telling, we would like her to go with us, we would like her to address. And it's thanks to my wonderful students still. After 18 years, I'm still in contact with most of them. And it's because of them that I got such other wonderful projects in different countries, which was again marvelous, because I was not expecting. It was completely without any expectation, but it worked well because I took it as a challenge, not as a drawback. And I just moved on.
I think, Ruby, this is because of the heart being clean and the mind being clear. You would be able to achieve what you want to achieve and what you went there for. And I love you for that. The most important thing that I would love you to share as well with the audiences here. Since you
Mhm.
mentioned you're an educator, would you like to share what exactly do you specialize in?
I specialize in human resource management. So I teach all the courses to bachelor's, master's, and sometimes even to the doctorate students who are taking any course related to HR, which is leadership, training and development, then conflict management, things like that. And since last 3 years, I started also giving classes in luxury management. So I teach luxury organizational behavior, like how do people behave, what do people do behind the scenes, in front of
Wow.
the scenes.
Oh, that's an interesting space. You're getting me intrigued in this because this is something I have been always wondering about. I'm definitely going to catch up on this beyond that. But of course, we are running on time constraint today. However,
True.
Ruby, I have to add something. You mentioned about being a young educator, and that brings a whole lot of challenge as well. Because personally, I also had this challenge because I was young in every field where I started, whether my own
Mhm.
company or associating with other companies or even the community groups, and always being able to fight for that opinions, or you might have something but not sure whether you will get that. And beyond that, my challenge was I used to look also very young. Sometimes if someone, I
True.
mean, yourself, you also look very young. I'm sure you would have faced that challenge. So I so resonate with that challenge, and I'm so glad that you did 18 years phenomenally, and your students love you for what you are. Kudos to that. Huge kudos to that. Ruby,
Thank you.
as we are just, tell us how LinkedIn as a platform has empowered your growth.
LinkedIn has been an amazing journey. It's like, again, coming back since last 2 years, I started using LinkedIn a little bit more seriously. In the past, I had LinkedIn account, but I was not really very active on it. But then I think thanks to Global Goodwill Ambassadors, I was nominated as a Global Goodwill Ambassador, not knowing what have I done to get that, like a big degree, Global Goodwill. But then it's like, they just mentioned, the owner, that just keep doing what you are doing. So these are the words of Lisa and Richard that resonate. Keep doing what you're good at. And yes, through LinkedIn, I connected to some very wonderful friends. I had some brave, like wonderful networks, people helping each other, people collaborating, some healthy collaborations which are happening. Of course, we have to be cautious. Sometimes it can be a little misleading also. We have to
Yes.
be very, very careful. So just keep your eyes and ears open, guys, because sometimes it can be, other way around. But otherwise, LinkedIn is a great platform for people to connect and collaborate and keep building wonderful networks which can help them. So I'm really thankful to LinkedIn. And we are talking to you again, thanks to LinkedIn.
Yes, I would say that because I'm able to connect to you or even to know about you would 100% go to LinkedIn for that reason. Because all I got connected to you through this platform, and I'm glad that we did, because there's so much that I got to know just through this small call about you beyond LinkedIn as well. But super glad to have you. Would you like to give some tip to our audiences today, since you are a keynote speaker? as
Mhm.
as as a speaker, if they want to aspire to become one, would there be any closing tip that you would like to share with them?
Guys, I would just like to tell you, like, if you really believe in becoming a keynote speaker, believe in yourself that, yes, I can do it. Because if you're passionate about something, nothing can stop you. And be very clear about the message that you want to convey. Because as a speaker, you can be in different areas, different, carve a niche for yourself. That's very important because that's how people are going to come to you. Like, whenever there's something about emotional intelligence, boom, my name pops up here in Switzerland, which I'm very happy about. But it didn't happen just like this. It's not magic. I really worked on it. I kept on going, being clear, practicing all the time, even though I gave the TEDx talk, so have you, Khushbu. It opened a lot of doors. People notice you more, you get more visibility, but that doesn't stop you because there are some speakers who are there speaking, but they don't resonate with you. So that's
Correct.
very important. It's very
Absolutely.
important as a keynote speaker. You need to connect with your audience. You need to create that connection, whether it's virtual, whether it's face to face, because only when you create that connection, people notice you and people take you seriously. They think, we have to get to that person or we have to get her on our platform. So
Correct.
just go with a straight mind, with a noble heart, with be honest. You don't have to copy anyone. Don't try to become like Khushbu or don't try to become like Ruby. You are you. Be the
Yes.
awesome you and create your own niche. People can be your role models. So try practicing seeing them, watch a lot of TEDx talks and things like that, but try to create your own identity so that you are known as the keynote speaker, which people can associate and relate to.
Absolutely, Ruby. Thank you so much for sharing that. I loved it so much because one of the most hardest part in this VUCA world, or you talk about FOMO, this is the
Yeah,
most challenging thing. As easy as it may seem, you can't be yourself because you always feel like you're judged by so many eyes around you.
true,
Have
true.
your own self expectations, people's expectations, and I'm glad that you pointed this being a reason for your success, but at the same time bringing my audience's notice. Nothing happened overnight for Dr. Ruby. If today she is what she is because she really worked hard. 18 years is not a small time, so patience is the key, which many of us are lacking at this point of time, especially in this fast moving world. They just want quick, 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 quick. It's not happening. They want to give it up. But
True.
I'm glad you brought this up. But with this, Dr. Ruby, I'm not going to leave you without asking one important question. Tell me, who was your favorite speaker on LinkedPreneur Stories, and what do you love about LinkedPreneur Stories?
Link protest stories is something like, you feel you can relate to anyone. You can relate, oh, I like this one. Oh, like I like this one. When they are speaking, you are with some of them all the time. But of course, when you're speaking as a hostess, I couldn't take my eyes off you.
Oh my God.
Because yes, the reason I'm saying it, because first we met, if I don't know whether you remember this or not, but we met through LinkedIn Wonder, like women, like
Yes,
LinkedIn ambassador for
correct.
women, platform for
Malor.
women. Yeah, so we met over there, and thereafter when you started this talk show, I was like, wow, she's doing so well. And I would always watch you. Of course, I would watch the speaker as well because the content was great. It
Correct.
resonates very well, and you take really a lot of pains in getting out what is good in that particular speaker. So every speaker that I've noticed, I would say I have really honestly watched maybe 3 or 4. And whenever I've watched, I've always commented because I am sitting there, I'm resonating so much with that particular speaker that I do comment. It's something that from every speaker you bring about his or her speciality, what she's good at and how much value she's giving to the platform, whether it's LinkedIn or to the other platforms where you noticed her or him. So that's wonderful. So I wouldn't say one speaker is good or two people are good. I think you get the best people from across. You take time because it's your show. You take time that you do provide quality to your viewers as well.
Thank you so much, Ruby. That means a lot. Honestly, it's a lot of work from the entire team that goes behind LinkedPreneur Stories, and I'm glad to be supported by great partners as well. So thank you so much. It means a lot when our hard work is appreciated, or even by one person. It matters a lot.
True,
Thank
true.
you.
I agree.
Before we say bye-bye to you, let me ask a quick rapid fire, because without rapid fire, LinkedPreneur Story is incomplete.
Oh
So
my God.
there's going to be a very quick rapid fire, and it's one word, just one word is what we are going to cover. So it's top of your mind recall. Okay. So let's
Okay.
start. What comes to your mind when I say red?
Love.
That's nice. LinkedIn.
Blue.
Educator.
Someone inspiring.
Women.
Ooh effect. Wow effect.
Switzerland.
Bollywood.
India.
Matrabhumi.
Okay. Travel.
Passion.
Your hideout.
Can I do it?
Oh yeah, I so agree to that. And finally, what comes to your mind when I say Dr. Ruby Bakshi Khurdi?
Someone who has dreams, someone who is always thinking what next to do, how to do, someone who believes in connecting with people as much as possible, they'll say.
Oh, damn! I'm gonna have goosebumps honestly because it just feels like I can so well connect with you.